A good time was had by all.
Hi, this is Chef Dan of SoFloDining, here with Doris and Chef Bruno of Livello, and we're here to talk about Livello in Coral Springs and Chef Bruno.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I have a question. How did you find yourself in the hospitality industry? What led you?
What led me? Well, first of all, I grew up in a family that cooked.
Aha.
Mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, everybody cooked. Everybody there. I wouldn't say they were all excellent cooks, but they all cooked. But they cooked well. Especially like Sundays was a big thing for us. And I always had my passion for food and to be in the hospitality business. But I didn't actually find myself into it until I was like 15, when I started working in high school, and I worked at the mall food court making sandwiches. And that's how I basically started. And then after that, I went and worked as a prep kind of person at a restaurant. To my mentor, Jack Flagg, which is my customer now. He comes here, which is an excellent story for another time. But that's how I found myself being in a hospitality and culinary world. Was that triggered me?
Yeah, so you've never done anything other than food, right?
Other than food, no.
Okay.
Since I was 15, that's what I started doing it. Obviously, you have your stints of, I'm tired of the business.
Right.
Let me go do some construction, and you find out that the grass is not green on the other side, and you come right back.
Mine was security.
Yeah.
So
But I always levitated back to cooking, and that's what it was. It was my passion. It was my comfort zone, and in many ways. And then obviously being in a restaurant industry is not only about cooking. It's about personal relations with customer, and make sure that they're getting taken care of. But my forte was always back in the kitchen.
okay, yes.
And how long have you been in business?
We opened December 9th, 2023. So a little bit over 4 months. And it's been great journey.
Been nonstop.
It's been nonstop. Yes, it's nonstop every day. We closed on Mondays, and usually I'm here all day. But that's part of the business. I knew I was getting myself into.
And you haven't always been in this location, right?
No. I was at a previous location before. I was executive chef at another popular restaurant in town, and I decided that it was time for me to kind of like jump off the cliff and see where it takes me.
Right. So you were anchored, and then you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was. As a chef, when you find. I wouldn't say a comfort zone, but when you find something that's, it was basically like that's what put me on the map, was
Right.
being there for so long.
And you had your brigade, and you knew.
Yeah,
left hand, right hand.
we ran that I ran the kitchen at restaurant for 15 years, from the age of 26, and basically I had my team. And I'm a big believer. That I'm a big believer from promoting from within.
Right.
So I have dishwashers that today are line cooks and sous chefs.
Right.
And
That's one of the true callings of a chef. When I was like you, I started when I was 14, and I actually went to college when I was 19 for culinary arts, because everybody said you have to go. And one of the old German chefs taught me part of being a real chef is passing the craft on. And I've seen that. We've been here, and I've seen staff that you've showed me that you've developed, and I've done that. And you get that good feeling inside when you go somewhere else, and the chef was your pot washer.
Yeah.
It's a real sense of accomplishment, and
Absolutely.
That's what a true chef does. So.
Yeah, not only that, but you feel it. The moment you walk in the door, everybody's family. Everybody knows each other. Everybody knows their strengths, and everybody plays to those strengths. You have a wonderful team here.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
you can see it. It's palpable when you walk in the
It's
door.
true, and it, people that know me or that have worked with me are going to laugh when they see this video, because I'm going to tell them something that I always say. When people come to me and say, "Hey, boss," I tell them, "I'm not the boss. I work here just like you." People that need to be called boss don't know what they're doing.
No, yeah.
They need that, and
It's an empowering
Yeah.
term to me. It's boss. I mean, some people like chef. I mean, and like in the corporate world or
Right.
whatever it is, people call the chef. I mean, just call me Bruno.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know what I am. You don't have to keep mentioning to me. And to me, it's like you said, you know, you have to share your gift.
Yes.
If you don't share your gift, you know, we're here to, you know, contribute and make sure other people are doing the same thing and then moving on and doing better things with their lives. I have plenty of them that I wouldn't say help. I mentored. You know, it's about mentorship. It's about taking, you know, so many kids that come, you know, to work in the kitchens because obviously they're lost.
Right.
You know, I don't like college. I don't want to go to school.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they find that you find that spark in them, and then they become great. And that happened with a lot of the people that I actually work with, and I learned from them as well.
Right.
You know,
True.
because it's about learning from each other. You
Very
know, and like you said, like the person that mentored me when I was young, his name's Jack Flagg, and he's the same way I am. You know, let's teach the next person. Let's teach the next person, because not only is great to teach others, but also it's a nurturing thing. It's like you're basically taking that person that, you know, wouldn't have, I wouldn't say wouldn't have, but it's kind of lost in the world, and be like, okay, now here's a set of knives. I'm going to teach you how to cut vegetables, or I'm going to teach you how to break a leg of lamb down, or clean a piece of fish, or whatever it is. And those things stay with you.
Right. And again, they work with you and for you through time. Even though when they're not here anymore, you know that you could always call on them.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, whereas people that want to be boss and want to, you know, rule with a steel thumb, as soon as somebody leaves, that's it. You don't see them, and you know, rightfully so.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Yeah, dude.
You guys are character builders.
Yeah.
That's what you guys are. That's what you do. That's your contribution.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. And it needs to be appreciated and nurtured.
And it's
Because that's
funny,
what you do. You guys
years
are
ago,
nurturers.
but years ago, what Bruno said, because I'm much older than Bruno, and much before me, the kitchen was the place where criminals and whatever went to work, because they couldn't get a job anywhere. And that's, you know, that whole stereotype of the kitchen being tough, that's where that came from.
Yeah.
It used to be a rough place. I mean, I came up in the 80s, and I could tell you, I've worked with some real
Pretty tough.
characters. Real characters. So.
Me too. I mean, into like, you know, kind of took the reins at Tavolino, where I was, to be the chef there. It was not easy. It was, you know, the kitchen is it's a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
You know, you're pressured with time, quality, with getting along with others that are standing 2 feet away from
In
you.
a tight space.
Yeah, and you know, things change in a moment. You know, hot tempers. You know, kitchen people have a lot of hot tempers. You know, one thing that goes wrong leads to another, and it, like you said, it was a place that it was always labeled as like the black sheeps of the culinary. I mean, of the industry.
Right.
Like the cooks, the pirates.
Yep.
It's called
The pirates. The pirates. Yeah.
Goodness.
And it's funny you said how, you know, we work 8 to 10 hours a day in a small area, 6-7 days a week, not 5.
Yeah.
And it's hot. We're under pressure. And, you know, back when I used to do it, we used to call it a dance. You can work next to somebody 2 feet away and do a whole service and never bump into each other.
That is true.
And we used to call it the dance. And I remember every now and then we'd switch somebody up and get him out of here.
Yeah.
Get him out of here. I got burned 3 times.
Hey,
It was still
Yeah.
a dance. It was called
proof
bump
and
and
live
grind.
and proof, right?
Yeah,
there.
if I didn't have this hair.
Yeah,
So,
that's very true.
But it was still a dance.
yeah.
It's
It
still
was
a
called
dance.
bump and grind.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still a dance.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
And it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's a symphony.
it is. It is.
It really is.
And it shows on the plate.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
that's the most important thing. And you know, in the kitchen, at the end of the night, we all sit together.
Yes.
And then we're like, oh, we should have done this better. You know, we could have done this better. Man, remember that lamb that you burned, and I had to do one on the fly for you.
Yeah.
You know, those
Yeah.
are the things
It's
that you
true.
sit around and
It's true.
you drink a cold beer at the end of the night, and you go back and say, maybe next time we won't do this.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's find another way. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. What style of food do you serve?
Well, we serve here at Livello. It's a fusion. I wouldn't like to call traditional Italian because it's not. You know, it's we still have traditional Italian, American Italian dishes, and some. I wouldn't say authentic, but somewhere in a fusion of like, you know, we can still make a true carbonara with guanciale and egg yolk and a pecorino and all that. But my style of cooking, or this food that we serve, it has to have a modern twist, because everybody else is doing the same thing. If you're gonna be a follower, then why do this?
Right.
You know, especially, you know, as a chef, you have to think out of the box and you have to create, and that's the way we are. We serve any food from anywhere from East Asia all the way to South America. Yeah. You might come in one day, find a, like I say, a traditional plate of lasagna alla bolognese, and then the next day you come in and you have a Wagyu skirt steak with black garlic and soy glaze.
No, and you know, like he said about following and leading, you know, you could follow the successful guy, but he was successful because he was a leader.
Because he started, he was a
He
pioneer.
started, he was the first one. So everyone else just follows. And why would you go support the followers when you can go to the leader?
Exactly.
And that's you, the
Yeah.
leader.
Would you have to, for me, for being in this industry for so many years, you know, not only for a chef purpose, making the same dishes drives anybody insane.
You get bored out of your mind.
Chicken parm. It's the same 3 steps. It's chicken cutlet,
Yes.
sauce, and cheese.
Yep.
I mean, you get to a point that like, no more chicken parm, please.
Right.
You know, there's only so many plates of rigatoni alla bolognese you can make before
Yes.
you be like, enough with the ground beef.
Yep.
You know, and
Yes.
the veal and all that.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just get it out of my sight.
It's true. I mean, I know exactly what you're saying.
What is your most popular dish?
Most popular dish, wow. I would have to say the veal chopped Livello.
Okay.
It's a 16-ounce butterfly veal chop. We pound it very thinly, and then we pound prosciutto into it. And then we bread it and pan fry it with extra virgin olive oil, house-made vodka sauce, burrata cheese. And then we bake that, and when it comes out, we make homemade burrata cheese ravioli with cacio e pepe with a little black truffle in it.
Wow. See, this is originality.
Like I said,
This is-
I could have just made veal chopped parmesan.
Exactly.
Like everybody else.
Exactly.
But, you know, the vodka sauce and the burrata and the ravioli with cacio e pepe and the prosciutto, that takes you to the next level. That's what I call it.
True.
Instead of just
My
doing your
mouth is
normal.
watering. That's what I call it.
Now this next one she
Awesome.
usually asks, but I'm going to ask it.
I know. Go ahead. Go.
Because, you know, when I worked in the kitchen, there were certain things that I'd like to eat. And people would be like, but you don't eat whatever? You know, and certain things are curveball. So what's your favorite thing to eat?
Like comfort food?
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Brazil originally, right? So growing up, like my plate of food was always rice, beans, fried eggs, and then maybe a little fried plantain, platanitos,
Ooh, nice.
and that was it.
Yeah.
I don't have to have a steak. I don't have to have anything. Just the fried eggs, over easy. That yolk break on that rice, and
Oy.
and that to me it's my favorite. You know, you're not gonna come here
No.
and see me eating a plate of seafood risotto.
Right. See?
Yeah. Not that I don't like it. It's just I make it every day.
I was going to say, after you make things every day, I went through a series where I couldn't stand filet mignon and I couldn't stand lobster. But those were our 2 biggest sellers, and I would see them every day.
I could not tell you the last time that I had lobster, and I don't like filet mignon either.
See?
To me, it's flavorless.
Yep.
If you're gonna give me a steak, give me a ribeye. Fat is flavor.
That, definitely.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah. Absolutely. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. Yes. And why is the rice, the beans, the egg, and the platanitos? Why is that your favorite?
Growing up, my mother, like I say, we all, you know, I grew up poor, so we now always have protein available for to eat. You know, protein was a luxury, but we did have chickens, and chickens give you what? Eggs.
Yeah.
So we you know, I probably had eggs 1,000 different ways growing up, but that was that marked me. That was like even today. Sometimes my staff comes in. It's like, what are you eating?
Right.
I say, I take eggs, I scramble, put rice in it, and I make scrambled eggs with rice and a little hot sauce. They're like, what are you eating? I say, scrambled eggs with rice.
Yeah. That's it. I mean,
but it's because
It's a comfort food.
comfort food, and I grew up eating it. As far as I can remember being a person, eating food, that's what we ate. It was not every day obviously, but we that was at least on the menu once a week, and then when it was there, I enjoyed it.
My one is funny. Cheap hamburger. Hamburger patty. Not a real good hamburger. Cheap hamburger patty, lettuce, red onions, and mayo. That was my go-to. I ran an officers club, and I would buy the frozen hamburger patties for me.
Nice.
That was my go. And people were like, "With all this around you, we have 8-ounce burgers, freshly grilled."
Yeah. No.
This is that's my go-to. So
And that's exactly what I tell. I make food for my staff.
Right.
I cook for them whenever I can, but usually Sundays are family dinner, and I let them pick the food. And they're like, "You're not gonna eat?" I say, "No, I'm gonna go home and have hot dogs or something."
yeah.
I like the simplest thing ever.
That's the funny thing. I think, like you said, because we do it every day, we see it every day. It's just,
People like, I had a customer the other day. I made this dish. It's called rigatoni with spicy alla vodka. So we do like butter poached lobster with Fresno chili, shallots, a little bit of white wine and vodka. I don't use only vodka. I use both because the white wine gives that little sweetness. Some Marzano tomato puree and a little heavy cream. And at the end, I put a spoon of creme fraiche to make it creamier.
Right.
And this lady called me to the table and she's like, "Would you learn how to make this?" I said, "No, it's from the top of my dome."
That's it, yep.
And she's like, "Have you ever tried it?" I was like, "No." She's like, "How the hell do you know what it tastes like?" Well, I say, first of all, I try the food before you eat.
Right.
So I know the flavors are there.
Exactly.
But I will never find me eating a plate of rigatoni alla vodka with lobster in it or shrimp or chicken. It's not that I don't like it. It's that you see it, you smell it every day. The last thing I want to do is eat that.
Eat that. Yeah, my two popular dishes when I was a chef was my shrimp fried diavolo, chicken franchise.
Yeah.
I hate them both. You'll never see me saying I gotta make that or no.
Well, Doris, let's go off with some shrimp fried diablo today.
Yeah, right?
I
Never
just
gonna happen.
can't.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
it's just something.
it's like even my wife asks me all the time. She's like, "What do you want me to cook for you today?" Just make hot dogs, honey. It's fine.
Yeah.
She's like, "That's it? That's all you want?" I say, "Yeah, but I don't make a normal hot dog.
Yep.
I'm gonna
You
go
know what he
home."
makes me make him? Peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Okay.
It's simple.
It's
Just
simple.
saying.
It's simple.
Just that's what I cook now.
I love peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Creamy or crunchy?
Creamy.
I like the creamy. I used to like the crunchy. I like the creamy now.
I like crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the crunch in it.
There's a back and forth though. You'll see.
Well, no, wait.
Because after 55,
I was gonna say
you may
once you
wanna
get a
go
little
back to
older,
creamy.
once you get a little older and you visit the dentist a
Have
lot.
you ever put potato chips on your peanut butter and jelly
Heck
sandwich?
yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
That is like one of my, like, if I ever want to have like something that's like in the middle of the night,
Right.
you'll find me opening a bag of potato chips to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
The little
with
salt.
potato-
The little
Mhm.
salt.
Oh.
That's
It's just right. It's that little touch of
Yep.
salt that you need. That toquecito con limon.
Yeah, exactly. It's like and to me, it's about the texture too.
yes.
That
Oh,
potato
yeah.
chip gives texture. I put potato chips like you get a regular hoagie sandwich.
Yep.
I load them up.
Load them in.
Yeah,
So,
Goodness, you guys.
it's
You guys are amazing.
it's a food of a love. It's
Yeah.
it's a food of love thing for me.
it is. I mean,
Yeah, it's all
like
about
me,
the love.
I need the sweet. I need the salt. I don't need anything else in between.
Yeah.
I
That's
like the
it.
chocolate with the salt.
And I do similar at home.
I
I'll
get
eat, like you said, the peanut butter and jelly, and then right away I go for chips. I need the salt.
Yeah.
yeah,
Simple.
that's just the way it is.
Yep.
Next time I'll
Chocolate
just
and
throw the
salt.
chips in there.
Chocolate and salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Very good
yeah.
combination.
That's my thing. Yeah, everybody's got a
She got
different-
chocolate with sea salt. We're not allowed to keep that in my house because I will eat the whole.
Yeah, no, we have to keep that in the West Wing. That does
Yeah.
not go to the East Wing.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big sweet guy. Like, if you're gonna give me sweet, it's gotta be ice cream or sorbet or
Yeah.
something like that. I'm not gonna sit there and have a slice of cake.
Right.
That's. But one of the desserts that it's forever my favorite. It's flan.
Oh yeah.
Give me a good
That's-
made flan.
That's
good flan.
cultural.
Yeah, it's cold.
That's in the blood. Yes,
Yeah.
that's who we are.
No, it's
We're Hispanic.
another one of my specialties.
I love
I
flan.
gotta make you one.
Oh, I love flan. Coconut flan, passion fruit flan, you name it. I eat it all.
You see, I like the different flans. He's a
More
what do you call it,
traditional?
a traditionalist.
I have a recipe from the Havana Country Club that was passed down,
Yes.
and that's the one I use.
Yeah.
And I've tried to like mess with it, but our kitchens are like chemistry. You mess with it, you change something, and it affects something else.
Of course.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me just
Especially with
leave
dessert.
it. Yeah.
Dessert's a
Also
science.
heritage. I mean, it's the Cuban that came over and took the time to pass it on to him. Be it his grandmother, whomever it was,
Yeah.
took the time for a reason, and that's why you have it.
Yeah.
And that has to be respected too. I
Oh, absolutely.
But there's nothing like change.
Can't trench tradition.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Well, it's like a lot of like one of the things like we talked about being innovative, but then you have your traditional dishes,
Yes.
and it's like when people want to like they want to do like a like we just said chicken marsala. They want to do a chicken marsala, and then you're looking at it, and it's like, where's the mushrooms? Oh, it's over a portobello.
Yeah, you're kind of taking that. You're kind of taking the beauty of it out.
And even if it's good, even if it's good, because we've been to places where they like totally reconstructed the dish.
The dish.
It's good, but I'm like, don't call it that because it's not that. It's actually good enough. It could be called something else.
Something else. Yeah.
You know, but a lot of the chefs, they don't want to. I don't know. They're afraid to change the name, or I don't know.
I wouldn't say afraid. Some of them can't step away from the comfort zone. So, and also in order to market to people that only know that, that's chicken marsala, but we do it our way. This is the way we do it. That's kind of like, they could have called us 150 different things in my mind. Because if you're using marsala, that's Sicilian.
Right.
Why don't you call it pollo messina, whatever it is.
Something, whatever. Yeah.
You could use a different name, but people are afraid. To me, it's more about the educational point of it.
That's true. That's true.
I just lost my train of thought. Oh my God.
We can sit here all day. We can do this all day.
I had a good question too. What was it that I wanted? Oh yes, you made something the time that we went over to Tavolino, and it had pears inside it, and it looked like a little purse, like a little Italian purse like this. And I thought that was absolutely excellent.
And what happened was
that?
we had gone with a couple, and they were raving about that. And
Yes.
I worked in an Italian restaurant a long time, so again, Italian food, traditional American Italian food, I don't go crazy over it. They ordered that. That was incredible. And I know we spoke to
one.
Yeah, it's called the pear fiocchi. So pear fiocchi is actually a fiocchi is like a sachet type pasta. It looks almost like a little money bag.
Yes.
Yes.
And inside of it is 4 cheeses and roasted pear. Taleggio, Robiolo, Grana Padano, and ricotta cheese. And then they blend it with roasted pears, and then they put inside a little the pear pouch. And then the sauce for it, it's a quattro formaggio, or 4 cheese,
cheese.
cream with some poached pears, and then topped with candy walnuts. So you got sweet, you got a little bit of sharp from the cheese, you got a little saltiness from the cheese, and then you go with a crunch from the walnuts.
And that's why we ordered another dish of it.
And
At
I
our
was just
table.
going to tell you, and I was going to say how I told you how I felt about the traditional American Italian food. We actually ordered a second at the table with
Yeah,
that.
that's how good it
Yeah.
was.
That dish has been around for a long time. Right? People make it different variations of it, but we were known at Tavolino for that, for those 2 things that we're popular for. The pear fiocchi and the Sicilian amaretto cookies.
There you go.
We're
Those.
There you go.
We're not going to talk about the cookies.
We love those cookies.
But that's people walk in. The first thing they ask, I swear to God, they'll go to the host and be like, "Do you have cookies today?" I'm like, "We always have cookies." Okay, because if not, we're gonna leave.
Again,
Oh my goodness.
now remember we said about keeping the chocolate in the West Wing? Bruno gave us some cookies last time we were here to take home.
Sicilian cookies, yeah.
They went to the West Wing
Nice,
because if I had them next door,
they'll be gone.
oh yeah, they were incredible.
I'm
but-
Sicilian. They're Sicilian. It was a natural.
But no question I'm going to ask you: the menu. You switch up the menu
Yes.
periodically.
Well,
Very important.
we try to, again, be innovative with not only for our sake in a kitchen and a restaurant, and as a form of education for food, it's to change our menus every month. Lunch, dinner, and then brunch that we opened recently. We change it every 3 months because you only open for brunch 1 day a week.
Right.
So if you change it every month, people are going to be like, oh, really? I came here last month and you had this. Now you don't. Right. And then our pizza menu changes with the season also. So now July, in the beginning of July, we got a new pizza menu coming out. So summer, spring, winter, they're all different pizzas. We always try to make something new. So our menu does change every week. I mean, every month. The original plan was to do it every week, but I found my customers complaining. I did it for the first 2 weeks, and they're like, "Well, I came here last week, and you had a great view and broccoli rabe sandwich. Why can't I have it this week?" I said, "That was last week."
That was last week.
And then we came to a conclusion that a month was sufficient for everybody to at least try
Everything.
Yeah.
And that's very important because,
I love that.
again, for customer retention, like we just said, when we're in the kitchen, we get tired of looking at the same dish. We're food reviewers.
Yeah.
We have some restaurants that we go to a lot, and I'll sit there and just look at the menu and be like, where here, your menu, it's like I could just sit there and order everything, and then come back a month later, look,
And it's all new.
and it's all new, and that's the great thing about the switch. Some people do specials, and again, I'm sure you've seen it.
I do too.
But you see when they do specials, and you go there, and every week it's the same special. That's another thing where it's just stagnant.
We do. I do change it every 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's our chef's pop-up. That's what I call it.
Okay.
So I usually, call my purveyors and see what you got that's coming in fresh. We're gonna do something a little bit different. Like for instance, like right now on the menu, I have this beautiful Mid-Atlantic oysters. I call them the rum runner.
Okay.
So what it did was a pineapple pico de gallo, okay, with lime granita, and then I take a pipette and I put 3 drops of rum on it. So when you have the oyster raw like that with the pineapple and everything, you get a little bit of the lime, the rum, almost resembles like a pineapple mojito.
That's what I'm thinking in my head was mojito.
Yeah.
That sounds
So that's
interesting.
kind of like the way we innovate with things
Right.
like that.
And a lot of yours change though for the menu, like you said, is seasonal.
Seasonal.
And again, that ensures optimal freshness.
Absolutely.
That's-
Like summertime, a lot of things are grilled and have a lot of fruit aspects to it, tomatoes, fresh, light. And then you walk in here in November, in the middle of the almost winter time, and you're gonna find your view ossobuco with your risotto alla Milanese, and then you come on spring, you're gonna find your lamb with the peas and the mint and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about changing, because if you don't, like I say, if you stay staggered,
That's
Yeah, but that's the way it is with family too. Because when you do the family dinners, you always try to outdo this aunt and the other aunt and the other sister and the brother and the nephew and everybody's in there trying to make it the best they can possibly present to their family.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of brought that to the industry.
To the industry, yeah.
And that's beautiful.
And then kind of like when we were talking about this restaurant, my wife and I and my partner Uma, she's like, so what we're gonna do? They were like, oh, let's just do normal. You know what I mean? Like pizza, sandwiches, and chicken parm and chicken franchise. I looked at them. I was like, oh, I don't think so. I mean, if you're gonna do normal, then we're just gonna be like everybody else.
Be like everybody
you
else.
You have to be innovative. You have to innovate. It's not like we're trying to change the culinary world. We're not gonna do that. But we're definitely bringing something to Coral Springs that does not exist. There's
We're creating it as we speak.
Yeah.
I mean, if you remember, I don't know I'm sure you read my first review where I said, this is the new hotspot. And I said, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, they all got their things. And I said, I'll put this up against anywhere in Fort Lauderdale, Miami. I mean, you're that good.
Thank you.
Really.
I appreciate
and
it.
we
you've
we
earned
go
that.
to a lot of places. I'm honest, this is the first time we came here, you blew us away. Really.
And you still do.
And I
Thank
still
you. Even
and I
today,
go
I was
online
blown away.
and I'm always looking at your menu. I always check out what you guys are doing. And whenever I see people put posts about it, about here, they're incredible posts.
Yeah.
Incredible. I
Thank
love
you.
looking at the pictures and you know.
It's another thing is like what I tell my I wouldn't say my staff, the people that I work with,
Right.
okay, is that people eat with their eyesight first, okay. If something look good, tastes good, believe me, they're gonna be talking about it.
Right.
They're gonna be talking about it. They're gonna make sure that you know about it. And for me, presentation is very important. You know, obviously, do we fail? Yeah, we'll fail. I mean, there's plenty of things that we do that didn't work. I like with chefs, try and error. You know.
Oh yeah.
And then when it doesn't work, you move on.
Yes,
Make something
that's
different.
it. Change something different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, wanted to tell everybody where you can be found.
Yes.
Hours.
So we are in Coral Springs, obviously. We're University Drive, number 2047, North University Drive, in the same plaza as Doris Supermarket. The phone number here is 754-777-9277. Our hours of operation is Tuesday through Sunday from 11 to 3, and then we take a brief break. We close for 2 hours, which we call the reset time. We clean the restaurant, we set the kitchen and everything, and then we open from 5 to 9, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday we close at 10.
Okay, and I'll put all those hours at the end of the thing, so everyone can see the hours, the address, and the phone number.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you want to add?
Come try us out and you know, see what Livello is about. I think we try to hold ourselves to a higher standard when it comes to food, not only because of the quality, but also our techniques and our you know, our passion for food, our service, extensive wine list. We have over 150 different bottles of wine from around the
Probably
world.
see them in the background.
Yeah, that's only half of
That's
it.
half,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not even there. Over there. There's about 93 different. But in the back, obviously, I have a wine list that we call the captain's list, from anywhere from Australia all the way to Chile.
Wow.
I'm amazed.
And
I'm
I can
amazed
tell
what
you,
I expected from you.
I could even tell you the menu is incredible, even down to just simple pizza is incredible.
You know, if you're gonna, in my mind, it's like if you're gonna do anything, put 100% into it.
Exactly.
You know, 94 doesn't work. Well, I mean, yeah, you're gonna reach 100% all the time. You may not, but at least you put in the effort.
You shoot for it, for sure.
You shoot for it, absolutely.
So, all right.
All right.
That it?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So,
That's it. We covered it all.
as always, enjoy, and we'll see you there. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.
A woman is a woman and a man ain't nothing but a male. One good thing about him, he knows how to jive and wheel. Oh, you gotta jump and jive and do what you gotta.